Have you ever been killed by someone who somehow knew exactly where you are going? Or maybe you've watched pro players and wondered how they always know where the enemies are. Most people think it's because they have insane aim, but the truth is, aim is only part of it. The real difference is game IQ. Game IQ is what helps you predict enemies' movements, make smarter decisions, avoid unnecessary deaths, and stay one step ahead of your opponents. The good news is that game IQ isn't something you are born with. It's a skill that anyone can develop. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 tips that will instantly improve your game IQ in COD Mobile. If you actually apply these tips, you start making smarter plays and winning more games. Let's get into it. Tip 1. Stop playing on autopilot. One of the biggest mistakes players make is moving around the map without thinking. They sprint through open areas, slide around random corners, and hope they will find an enemy. But that's not game IQ. Before you move anywhere, ask yourself a few simple questions. If I go this way, where can the enemy shoot me from? If someone appears right now, do I have cover? If I get into a fight, can I escape? The best players aren't just reacting, they are planning. Every movement has a purpose. Instead of running because you are bored, move because you are expecting something to happen. For example, before you push into an area, don't just sprint straight in. Instead, slow down, aim at the most common angle, clear the area, then continue. It only takes a second, but that second can save your life. Game IQ start with thinking before you move, not after you die. Moving on to tip 2. Read the map and predict enemies' movements. Your minimap is one of the most powerful tools in the game, but most players barely look at it. Think of the minimap as free information. It tells you where your teammates are, where fights are happening. It even helps you predict where enemies are likely to be. Here's what you should start doing. Every few seconds, quickly glance at your minimap. If you notice 3 or 4 teammates fighting one side of the map, ask yourself, what's happening on the other side? If one of your teammates suddenly disappears from the minimap because they died, there's a good chance an enemy is in that area. Now, you already know where to expect danger before you even see anyone. Another habit is predicting enemies' movements instead of reacting to it. Don't ask yourself, where's the enemy? Instead, ask, where is the enemy trying to go? If the objective is hard point, they are probably rotating there. And if they are protecting the bomb in search and destroy, they will likely hold common entrances instead of standing in the open. Thinking one step ahead of your enemies gives you a huge advantage. Now let's talk about tip 3. Understand map control and spawn logic. This is where your game IQ starts improving fast. A lot of players think enemies spawn randomly. They don't. In most respawn modes like hardpoint and domination, the game tries to spawn enemies in the safest part of the map that's far away from your team. For example, imagine your entire team pushes all the way into one side of the map. Since your team is controlling the area, the game sees it as an unsafe place for the enemy to spawn there. Instead, it flips their spawn to the opposite side of the map, the side your team isn't controlling. This is called a spawn flip. That's why you see some players sometimes get shot from behind and wonder where the enemies came from. The answer is simple. Your team pushed too deep, so the enemy spawns somewhere safer. Once you understand this, you stop getting surprised by spawn flips. Instead, you start expecting them. If you notice your teammates have completely taken over one side of the map, don't keep staring in the same direction. Turn around, check the opposite side. That's where enemies are most likely to appear. By doing this, you are not just reacting to where enemies are, you are predicting where they will be before they even get there. Game IQ isn't just about where enemies are now, it's about knowing where they are going to be next. The same idea applies to map control. Every map has a strong positions that give you better cover, better vision, and better control of the map. Learning these positions helps you survive longer and control the flow of game instead of chasing enemies around the map. Next up is tip 4. Fight smart, not every gunfight. Here's something many players need to hear. You don't have to challenge every enemy you see. Just because someone shoots at you doesn't mean you have to fight them immediately. Sometimes the smartest decision is to back up. If you are weak, heal first. If you are being shot by 2 enemies, reposition immediately. If an enemy already has a better angle, don't go challenge them. Instead, move to a better position and force them to fight on your terms. A smart player wins because they choose the right fight, and the reckless player loses because they take every fight they see. Always remember this. Good aim wins gunfights, good decision win matches. And the last tip, which is tip 5, learn from every match. After every death, don't immediately blame your teammates, your ping, or your device. Instead, ask yourself one simple question. What could I have done better? Maybe you ignored your minimap, or you pushed too aggressively, or you challenged a fight when you were one shot. Maybe you forgot to check a common corner. Every mistake is an opportunity to improve. The players who are great aren't the ones who never make mistakes. They are the ones who learn from them. After every match, think about one thing you could have done differently. Then focus on improving that one thing in your next game. If you keep doing that, your game IQ will improve naturally over time. Remember, improving your game IQ doesn't happen overnight. It's something you build every time you play. The more you think about your decisions instead of relying only on your game, the faster you will improve. If this video helped you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what tutorial you want to see next. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.